How's everybody doing? This is a dismantled unit, so there's no electricity here at all. Anyway, I thought I'd take this little time I had right now just to explain. One time I said in the last video with that whole electricity problem that I had, I said I was gonna say tell you guys another little story that happened to me one time. These are overloads for the compressor, for the fans, or whatever it is. Right now when I walked by this unit, I remembered that one time and decided I'd share another little story with you guys. One time I was doing this job that had an electric short. I made sure that there was no electricity. The breaker was down, the overload was down, and I went over to the compressor to see, because there was a long line and there were people working and making walls and installing all sorts of things. Anyway, I was afraid that they called me and then they told me that they had a short, that the breaker was coming down, the overload, and so I went over to the compressor. Made sure here there was no electricity. Went over to the compressor, made sure there was no electricity, and I took the 3 wires off the compressor, 3-phase, and I went back to the electric board to check something. And as soon as I got back there was a guy, one of the employees, was standing right in front of the board that was somewhat like this one. And when I went around the corner and I saw him there, I walked up to him. I thought he was just looking at the board. Right when I saw him reach his hand over like this, I knew he was gonna push the overload. Well, that kind anyway. It was the turning kind. It was an Allen Bradley. Anyway, it was the type where you turn. And right when he reached his hand over, I knew what he was going to do, so I ran over and I yelled at him and I pushed his hand away. But it's right when I was about to push his hand away, and I kind of shoved him out of the way also, he was able to push it while I pushed him away. And when he pushed it, started it, and I had shoved his body out of the way of the electric board, more or less I was right there in front of the electric board. When he turned it on, the whole thing exploded. It exploded. It didn't just do a little short where it had a little spark or whatever, or a big spark. It exploded. Thing exploded. Apparently down the line somewhere somebody had cut the cable, I don't know, it was slashed. And when they turned it on, when the guy was able to turn it on and I was in front of it, the thing exploded into my face. It exploded into my face, and the little copper that was in these wires came out like shrapnel and sprayed and hit my face, got into my eyes. The extreme powerful light more or less burned my eyes, and my brother was to my right, and a friend of mine was to my left, and they their eyes were a little bit bothering them that night, they told me. But my brother rushed me to the hospital because I was yelling. I told him, get me to the hospital, do something, I can't stand the pain, and I can't open my eyes. And to tell you guys the truth, I thought I lost my eyesight. Anyway, I went to the hospital. I told the guy, the eye doctor, I told him, please do something, punch me, knock me out, do anything so I can so I don't have to keep feeling all this pain. Do anything and hurry your ass. Anyway, so he opened my eyes, whether I liked it or not. My brother held me down, and the doctor, he opened my eyes and he put medicine in my eyes, and where anyways I couldn't feel the pain anymore. He checked my eyes and he got tweezers and a needle and started taking all the copper from the wires out of my eyeballs. And he patched both my eyes, and he said, no, don't worry, your eyes are okay, but you're gonna have to relax and keep the bandages on for 3 days and you can go home. So I went home with both my eyes patched up. When my wife saw me, she was hysterical. She thought something really, well, that is pretty bad, but she thought something, I guess, worse. And anyway, so I stayed in the bed for 3 days, couldn't do anything, and my eyes were burning. And after 3 days, I finally took the bandages off, and they were still burning, and my eyes were bloodshot red. And it wasn't fun, guys. It was not fun. Again, this one is for Martin's series that he's doing about how dangerous electricity is and how to work with electricity, and how Steve told me on one of his comments to my last video clip saying that don't trust anybody but your own ass, which is true.